Good morning, everyone. I hope that you all are doing well. I was thinking more about the innkeeper. I can't seem to get my mind off of him for some reason. And I was recalling a Bible verse about how we're called to love everyone with a brotherly love. And it says that we are to show hospitality to strangers because we never know when we might be entertaining an angel. And it made me think about the innkeeper and how what he missed out on that night, not letting Mary and Joseph in. And I think about if he only had known, how he would have probably given up his very own bed. And not only that, I know that his inn was full of all the guests in Bethlehem, but it would have been filled with so much more in just a short time, because after Jesus was born, it would have been filled with a host of heavenly angels. And I just can't help but think about how much he missed out on. And it makes me a little bit, I guess, snobby feeling, if I'm honest, towards the innkeeper, because I think about how could he have this pregnant lady at his door and then, not make room. And then I kind of get my own self in check and realize that so often I do the same thing. And there have been many a times where I have missed out on opportunities or just not realized the things that I needed to stop and do. One thing that came to my mind is whenever Allie was little, we were going to Myrtle Beach, we were going to Bass Pro Shop, and on the way there was a homeless person on the side of the road. And I remember us talking about him, like we noticed him, Allie noticed him. She was little, she was only probably 6, but we were in a hurry. We were trying to get to that Bass Pro Shop so we could do some shopping. We were in a real big hurry. And so as we were, we just drove off and proceeded on our little shopping trip. And about 20 minutes later, Allie had been really quiet in the back seat, and she brought him up. And she asked if I thought that anyone had given him food. And I was immediately convicted. I felt terrible because I knew I had missed an opportunity to be an example to Allie of how we're supposed to be. And I just felt horrible. And I said, on the way back, we'll certainly stop and see if he's there. And I prayed to God that he would be there, but he wasn't. And so I knew that I had missed a really big opportunity, and I prayed for God to give me another chance because I knew how much Allie was worrying about this particular homeless person, and I just wanted her to see something different. I wanted her to see the good side of that. And again, I knew that I had really bombed it. So it probably wasn't even a week later, and it was after church, and she had dance rehearsal, and so we flew into Walmart. We had no time at all. We flew into Walmart to grab stuff out of the deli so we could have something to eat. I mean, I was dragging that child so fast through the parking lot, I don't even think her feet were touching the ground. And I was whipped in there. We grabbed some food, and we were running out, and I just happened to glance over, and there was a homeless man on the bench. Now, we were really late. We had no time to spare. So I just was like checking, just booking it to the car. And right in the middle of that parking lot, it just hit me. And I was like, no, I've got to make this right. Like, this is my opportunity. So flowing Allie around, went up to the homeless man and pulled my sandwich out of my bag and gave it to him, and proceeded back to just flew her in the car and took her on a dance. And she said, well, Mom, what are you going to eat now? And when we got in the car, and I said, well, it's fine. I'll be okay. But I knew, definitely not bragging on myself, because I was this close to missing that opportunity as well. And I knew that God had given me another chance for Allie to see that, to see how we're supposed to show kindness to strangers. And I almost missed another opportunity this week. I was by myself out shopping, having a terrible time shopping, and I was walking out aggravated because Burlington had their door to the mall locked, and I had found a parking spot in Burlington, and now I was gonna have to go back and go around. Well, as I was going out, I was trucking it back to my car, and I just happened to hear a lady behind me say, oh Lord. And I still didn't pay much attention. Honestly, if something else would have distracted me, I would have not even turned around. It wouldn't have taken very much. A horn honking or some child playing, it wouldn't have taken much, because I was just in that mode. But I just happened to turn around and glance at her, and she had all these bags. And I thought maybe she was needing some help to her car. So I stopped and turned around and just asked her if I could help her carry her bags to her car. And she said, well, I've lost my car. And she said, so I said, well, what does it look like? Well, come to find out, somebody was waiting for her in the car, and she was trying to find where they had parked. And she had left her phone in the car, so there was no way, she just couldn't find the car. She couldn't remember what kind of car the person drove. So I just called them real quick and waited on him to come by and pick her up. And it gave me a few minutes just to talk to her. And it was a few minutes that I didn't think that I had to spare. But in all actuality, after doing that, after just taking those few minutes just to show some little something of kindness, it changed the whole rest of my day. I wasn't really mad that I had to go around and find another parking spot. It just made things so much better. And so I don't say this because I'm bragging on myself, because I miss way more opportunities than I take. And I try very hard to be intentional about showing kindness to other people, but I fail a lot of times, and often, actually more times than not. But I just thought that it was a good reminder that I'm going to try myself. We have 9 days till Christmas, and it was just a good reminder. And I keep seeing these little signs and these little sayings in a world full of in a world where you can be anything, be kind. And it just has kind of stuck with me. And so I am going to try to make it a point for the rest of this Christmas season, and hopefully outside of it, but definitely in these next 9 days, to look for opportunities to be kind and to share the love of Jesus with others. And so I just wanted to encourage you to do the same. Just kind of maybe give yourself that little bit of challenge, because it honestly does more for, just as much for us as it does the other person. And I know that everybody is just as crazy and just as busy as I am, but everybody could also use a little kindness in their life. So I just wanted to share that with you all. I hope that you have a very blessed day. I look forward to seeing you soon.